been given order 105. And this morning on arrival here, we hear that it's 24 members that have been given that order. Who gave them at what time, when, we don't know. So we want to question Parliament. And the other thing, security today has increased. Bringing armed police officers to Parliament to intimidate the members of Parliament is completely wrong. So as members of Parliament, we have immunity to a lot of things, including an immunity to arrest, immunity to intimidation, especially when Parliament is sitting. So that's why we are here, surprised. I have been allowed to enter because my name hasn't been put on that list. But when I got inside, I discovered someone somewhere just wrote those names and gave them to the speaker.
Later, Nankhuma went ahead responding to President Chakwera's address and lamented rising sugar prices, relocation of government offices to Lilongwe, and chaotic implementation of the Affordable Inputs Program, AIP. He also attacked some political parties for allegedly embracing the big man syndrome and creating rings within themselves. From Parliament, Taonga Sabola reports tonight.
Making his contribution to the State of the Nation address delivered by President Lazarus Chakwera on Friday, Nankhuma began by taking a swipe at what he called lack of intra-party democracy in some of the political parties. According to Nankhuma, the political parties have embraced big man syndrome and have created rings within the parties. Commenting on the SONA, Nankhuma bemoaned the rising price of sugar, which he said is hovering at an average price of 2,500 kwacha. Nankhuma has also asked government to carefully reassess the Affordable Input Program, saying in its current state it is unsustainable.
But consequently or conversely, on the other hand, you find that Malawi always have food deficits. Now, what I'm calling for is the complete overhaul of the AIP. It must be redesigned to benefit Malawians if it is continue. I am aware that the donor partners are against it, but redesigning it this time around, I think it's going to work.
UDF leader in the House, Ned Boyer, has condemned the disrespect to the Speaker by some lawmakers. According to Boyer, there was nothing new in whatever President Lazarus Chakwera said in his SONA.
2 people have died and 13 others sustained injuries in a road accident in Dowa district. Dowa police spokesperson Alice Sitima says the injured persons were rushed to Dowa district hospital for medical treatment. Sitima shares details of what happened to our reporter Mphatso Mbangombe.
It is true that Matthew Nekantani, 26, from Kasanja village, traditional authority Mwadzama, Kota, and Moses, whose full particulars are not yet known, have died after the vehicle they were traveling in overturned on February 13, 2024 at Nchinga village. The vehicle, a Hino lorry, registration DA 9680, loaded with bags of charcoal, was being driven by Lyson Mali from the direction of Salima heading towards Lilongwe with the 16 passengers on board. And upon arrival at Nchenga, the driver failed to engage low gear as he was ascending a hill. As a result, the vehicle started moving backwards and went to the far offside drainage and rested on its side. And its windscreen got smashed and the driver escaped from the scene. Following the impact, Moses and Nekantani sustained severe head injuries and were rushed to Dowa District Hospital, where they were pronounced dead upon arrival. The remaining passengers are being treated at the hospital.
The Lilongwe Magistrate Court has adjourned to a later date a case involving businessman Leston Muli and others who are answering a case of defrauding the Reserve Bank of Malawi. This follows failure by one of the accused persons to appear in court. Mese Matonga reports from Lilongwe.
During the court proceedings, Lusungu Gondwe, counsel for the accused, requested the magistrate hearing the case, Madalitso Koso Jimwaza, to adjourn the case because one of the accused, Leonard Kandoche, was unable to attend due to illness. However, Dzigondianto Malunda, the government legal counsel in the case, argued that adjourning the case would be unfair given how long it has been dragging on.
They applied for an adjournment. Our argument was that perhaps we could proceed with those that were present and then have the committal proceedings against the other one who is sick on another day. The court has ruled that that doesn't make sense. It's best that all accused persons should be present for committal proceedings. We ask that a medical practitioner from the government, a doctor, should assess the health of this particular accused person. That will be done, and we will report to the court in the next 14 days.
In an interview, Mpong Kutabasa, lawyer for Dalitso Kabambe, said they will wait for court direction in the matter.
The case was scheduled to come today for committal proceedings. We appear before the magistrate court, and the case will have to be transferred to the High Court for trial. So unfortunately today we could not do the committal proceedings because one of the accused persons felt sick, and the court has adjourned to a further date when we will do the process.
In her ruling on the adjournment, Chimwaza stated that the certificate of committal issued by the Director of Public Prosecutions DPP contained 7 names, and another certificate would be required if the case was to proceed in absence of one accused. Moli and others are accused of defrauding the Reserve Bank of Malawi of 20 billion through fraudulent contracting procedures. Poyankulabo mmodzi wa oyimira ozimidwa mulandu Lusungu Gondwe.
About 310,000 people in Mangochi district are facing hunger following a prolonged dry spell that has left some crops withering. The situation has also dealt a heavy blow to the fishing sector following Mwera winds on Lake Malawi. Johan Simon is our reporter in Mangochi. He has sent us a report. It is read tonight by Tabi Kamwangala Mwenefumbo.
There is panic and fear for survival among some households in Mangochi. A report by the District Agricultural Office shows that out of 15,035 hectares of various crops which were planted during the 2023-2024 farming season, about 11,875 hectares have been affected by the dry spell. Again, out of the affected hectares, about 7,930 hectares have completely wilted and need replanting. According to the report, only less than 4,000 hectares of crops might survive if the rains resume in time and continue to come accordingly. Mangochi District Council publicist Bishop Whitmos says the Agricultural Office is advising people to plant dry-tolerant crops such as cassava and sweet potatoes during the raining days of the rain season. He adds due to the dry spell, crop yield in the district is likely to go down by over 30%, which will also translate to more people facing hunger. However, Whitmore says the Agricultural Office is preparing for winter cropping activities for the affected households so that they might have food for their households. The district has been without rains for the past 21 days. According to the Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee's report, 4.4 million